Revan here and welcome to the video. So I was originally making videos for each node in Dark Dimension 4, and I thought that when it comes to DD4 people just want to know who they should bring in, what to look out for and how to play each node. So I decided to make the ultimate guide for beating Dark Dimension 4 instead, to give the tips and tricks to beat this game mode in the most efficient way possible. So let's get started with who you should invest your materials in. Now if you haven't already, you should visit msf.gg to use their Dark Dimension Planner. It is a good way to see what materials you need for each character, as you will need a lot to build up the 16 characters to complete the game mode. The difference with Dark Dimension 4 to the other Dark Dimension game modes are that you require at least 4 characters per node group, so that means you need 4 global, 4 cosmic, 4 city and 4 legendaries, and MSF.gg is really good for organizing that. How to get started? So to get started you need 5 gear 15 characters, so start with 1 city, 1 cosmic and 3 global. The reason for this is because that you want to be able to enter into the global nodes as soon as possible after beating the first 3 nodes, and you want to be working on the other characters that will get you into cosmic and so forth. The hardest part of DD4 is the entry requirements, so you want to be as efficient as possible. When building your teams you also want to be building 1 skill, 1 tech, 1 mystic, 1 bio, and 1 mutant, as they all use different gear 15 materials. Which brings me to my next point. Who to build. When it comes to deciding who to take in, there are a few factors to consider. 1. How many materials it costs to bring them up to gear 15, as not all characters cost the same amount. 2. Do I use this character a lot, so are they used in the other game modes? And 3. Power creep, are they going to be useful in the long run? I can tell you that some characters are going to have a longer life in this game, and others will fall off to an ever-growing roster. And let's face it, there are some characters that everyone loves, but when it comes to this game they are trash. I'm looking at you, Wolverine. So I started with Hela, Ghost, Emma, Black Widow, and Symbiote Spider-Man. That makes my 1 cosmic, 1 city, and 3 global. That also is my 1 mutant, 1 tech, 1 bio, 1 skill, and 1 mystic. Now Hela, Symbiote Spider-Man and Ghost are the most expensive to build, but they are also all characters that get a lot of use in this game. Next to build Mr. Sinister, Thanos, Minerva, Proxima, and Anti-Venom. Again these meet the 1 tech, 1 mystic, 1 mutant, 1 bio, and 1 skill. Now with those done you have the global and the cosmic nodes unlocked. Now for the next group I made the mistake of bringing Punisher. I thought that his passive, that gives extra damage to city heroes, would be an advantage, but he was useless. He rarely got an attack off and was dead from the first attack, but in saying that, at the time I had started building him, Night Nurse got her rework, so my suggestion for the next group are Scream, Night Nurse, Phoenix, Dr. Octopus, Ebony Maw, and Invisible Woman. Now this finishes off city, but also is the legendary node. Now as for the legendaries, there is also a newcomer to the game, and that's Jubilee, and I would recommend her also, but as for resources, Phoenix is cheaper, but don't sleep on her if you are able to bring her. So now that you're in and you have your teams built up and you're ready to start, what do you need to look out for in these nodes? So first of all, the first 3 nodes you can use anyone, but if you have built in the order I have suggested, you will have a really strong team to start with, and these first 3 nodes are very easy. Same goes for the 3 global nodes. With this team you should have no problems in beating them in one shot. Now if you have been building your teams as you go, this is where some of the first problems lie. The bottleneck for gear. If you haven't been building like I mentioned earlier, you will get stuck at the start of each section, not being able to enter the next node. Now what I do suggest you do when at the end of the nodes is to try to keep full health, and get all your abilities back to full, as you will be using them for the next node, and when you get into the global, cosmic and city nodes those characters will have their ultimates ready, which will give you the best possible start to those nodes. Now I have more in-depth videos on the first few nodes, so check them out, there will be links in the description. Now the first increase in difficulty comes in the cosmic section of DD4. Now when I say increase, it is compared to what you have been up against so far. If I was to compare it to DD3, it is still very easy. The first 2 nodes to cosmic may take you a couple of attacks, but all things considered, that's not too bad. Now I would like to point out that I didn't mention Silver Surfer as a character to bring into Cosmic, and the reason is that most people don't have him or haven't got him built up at the time I was making this video, but if you have him and the materials, he is a great character to have for this section. Now the first node of Cosmic, the start is where it hits you hard. With Strife, Magneto and Emma all hitting you with ability blocks and blinds. My suggestion is to take out the Strife first, then work on the Magneto and Emma. Once they are taken care of, the only other problem is a single X-23 in the third wave. The second cosmic node has a Rocket and 2 Star-Lords that you need to take care of first, then for the rest of the node focus on the Jessica Jones and Hawkeyes to make it to the final wave, where you will face a Johnny Storm and 2 things. They are your priorities in this node, and if you take care of them you will make it through with minimal attacks. Remember that if you haven't got all the characters built for the next group of nodes, you don't need to rush through these, so save your cores. Now the final cosmic node is the hardest of all the cosmic nodes, and you will see a trend from now on of the third node being significantly more difficult to the others in a section. The first wave has a combination of vision and gravitons that put stuns and ability blocks, but not only that, you will also face a Scientist Supreme and a Doctor Strange, and they flip buffs and clear the debuffs. So you want to focus on taking out the Scientist Supreme and Doctor Strange first. You also don't want to allow the Scarlet Witch to rebalance the health. Once they are gone, the first wave is much more manageable. The next wave you want to look out for the Crossbones, Vulture and Taskmaster. If Crossbones gets his ultimate off, he can wipe your whole team, and Vulture and Taskmaster will blind and slow you down, so you want to make quick work of them. The next wave you have another Vulture, and also a Falcon. Whenever you have characters that speed manipulate, they should always be your first targets. After that you will have a Red Skull that you want to clear. Once that is done, the rest of the wave will fall. The final waves of this node isn't too difficult, but you will get stuck behind a Cull Taunt that can slow down your progress, but as long as you can take care of the damage dealers, it isn't too bad. And now that you are done with Cosmic, you can now move on to the city nodes. Thanks for watching, and subscribe for more videos. And come back to see part 2 of the Ultimate Dark Dimension 4 guide. See ya!